seems to have so much, I guess, versatility in their picks. That being said, Kalista is the first ban that Beşiktaş throw at the Bangkok Titans, and that's at Lloyd, and they've already said they weren't expecting it, but it comes through, and they're not too worried based on that last interview.
Yeah, exactly right. Ari Rek'Sai hit the bench there. Bangkok Titan taking them away. And this is just maybe a Beşiktaş thing. You can see in their last bans, they also took away the Kalista. On the side of the Rift, Theocles is also happy to play the Udyr, so maybe they'll try and leave that up. And Warlock actually takes a Hecarim ban. That's very bizarre to me.
But, I mean, Hecarim, incredibly strong.
Yeah, it certainly is, but this means they have to either leave up Nunu or Udyr, and I believe both are first pickable if you are the Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, and Morgana going to be taken away from Dumbledore. Thresh still available, so they can pick that one up. And we'll see. Do Beşiktaş now ban away
one of them, or do they leave them both up?
Yeah, exactly. And I would imagine leaving them both up probably the better idea. Hit something else that might be a more high priority target. Something, potentially the Gragas here. Probably not, because 007X doesn't really play it that much, but might be aimed at Moss. Maybe hitting the Nautilus is a good idea.
Yeah, maybe getting rid of something like that. But Gragas does get taken out here. So Nunu can be picked up here if they want, or they don't even have to take a jungler because both of them are available.
Yeah, 007X going to get at least one of them here. Bangkok Titans could take away the Nautilus for Moss if they want to. Maybe even Shyvana for Warlock. He could pick up the Lulu. He looked far and away the best on that champion.
Yeah, he certainly did. His Lulu play was outstanding coming into that final game that shut the Chiefs out of the playoffs and set up this matchup here with Beşiktaş winning against Detonation Focus Me once again in quite convincing fashion, able to shut down exactly what Udapon wanted to do in that game. But I agree, his Lulu was stellar. His shields were on point, but more importantly, the ability to hold on to the ultimate until the last second really did force some very uneven team fights because the Chiefs thought they were further ahead. Instead, they pick away Dumbledore's Thresh. So you mentioned the fact that they banned the Morgana, left Thresh up. Maybe it's because they prioritized it as a first pick.
Yeah, Beşiktaş now thinking about Riven Rammus. It's probably not going to come through, but Moss now in a more conventional support, and I don't even remember seeing his Thresh.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have seen his Thresh either. I did like his Nautilus in there.
It was fantastic.
Good Nautilus playing. Quite a conventional support, at least on the 5.6, 5.7 patch. And we'll have to see exactly what the picks are here. Tholdren, he does play Riven. I don't expect it to be a blind first pick.
That seems odd.
For himself.
It most certainly does seem odd.
It's an overcommitment on a pocket pick, I think, would be fair.
Potentially, you could say that. My goodness. We'll see what they do go for. Theocles has moved over to a Nunu. That's been locked away, and Tholdren, he's going to take the Maokai into this one. So some pretty standard picks, not giving too much away.
That surprises me there, because Tholdren also plays Nah very well. So the ability to be able to take that into the Maokai, if that's what Warlock wanted to go for, is now no longer available. Also opens up the Lulu pick, because Lulu can deal very well in lane against the Maokai.
Yeah.
And that's one of the facilitators they like to play with. If they are going to go the Udyr, which they have just locked in, all of a sudden, Lulu is merely key in this matchup to be able to open up exactly how they're going to get the Udyr into the team fight.
Yeah, but they don't need to pick it away now if they don't want to. They can pick whatever they feel like because the jungler already been taken here by Beşiktaş. Then you're not going to put an Udyr in the mid lane, although Luden's Echo Phoenix Stance Udyr actually legitimately good. Bangkok Titans, though, thinking about the Sivir for the bottom lane.
Yeah, so it does look like they will go for the Sivir. Once again, another facilitator, so something to speed the Udyr up. Make sure he's in there. They play around 007X's champion pool incredibly well, but wow, the insta-locks coming through.
Yeah.
Energy has locked in Janna for Dumbledore, and Nadius has picked up the Lucian. That's going to be a fireworks bottom lane. Very low range AD carries like to trade very quickly. Both have very high burst potential. And I think that whoever pushes out gets level 2 first will be in a good stead to take that lane.
Yeah, and we'll see whether they are going to pick a top laner that is going to be capable in a 2v1 situation, or whether we might have a lane swap coming through here. Maybe we'll just have these guys go head-to-head in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how it works out here. As we have some assassins being hovered by Bangkok Titans. I think that's a little bit strange because Energy does play mid Lulu. Does leave them lacking in damage a little bit, but that's what will be picked up here.
Yeah, LeBlanc locked in. Moss is considering a Lee Sin, which is interesting at this stage. He's got a grin on his face, though, and at the last second is going to head possibly over to it. Nope. That's Warlock's Lee Sin locked in for the
Yeah, so top lane Lee Sin or jungle Lee Sin, top lane Udyr.
That's true. That's true. Oh my goodness, we might have the cheeky level 1 Doran's Blade Tiger Stance Udyr doing half of your health in one auto attack. That could be fun. It could most definitely be fun. It's probably not going to happen, but it'd be fun. Energy now thinking about an Orianna. This is the age of the control mages. Does have a decent matchup against LeBlanc too. We've seen it go both ways, but generally considered decent.
Both teams have really low damage. I would like Energy to actually go to Lulu here. Lulu augmenting Nardius right now means that he becomes unkillable pretty much. If LeBlanc doesn't get him at the start of the team fight, going to be extremely difficult to take out the Lucian, and we'll just be able to allow him to kite. Don't get me wrong, Orianna adds similar defensive qualities to Nardius. He's still very hard to kill, and it is more damage, but doesn't augment Nardius's damage to the point that he really is set up to be the solo carry. And it does look like they are going towards the Orianna. So once again, has a similar defensive quality, has a very good lane against the LeBlanc. Yeah, but just doesn't augment the late game the same way that the Lulu would.
Yeah, Command Protect is going to sort of get halfway there, you might think. So it's sort of like they're going halfway towards that point. But you're exactly right. It's not like the wild growth to come down there. And especially, I mean, I guess it's now like the ball delivery system with the Maokai could have been the AoE knock-up to come through with the added factor of being able to be put on the Lucian if they wanted to. But still, being able to have that with the Maokai with the ball is still very strong.
Yeah, it's certainly a very strong lineup coming in here. Beşiktaş look like they have some very clear keys to victory. I like the fact that we mentioned Nardius being one of the stars on this team, putting a lot of pressure on Nardius, but also giving him the tools to be able to deal with the late game on Lucian. I want to see how Warlock performs on top Lee Sin. Haven't seen it in a while. I think maybe Unicorns of Love played it in a EU LCS game. I'm going to throw it out there.
Sounds like something that they do.
One of the teams played it in EU LCS. I think it was Unicorns of Love. Could have been someone else, so correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Remember, hashtag IWCI. Spawn doesn't know anything because the Bangkok Titans are still in the finals. But yeah, he pushes out the lane very well, has a devastating level 6 teleport gank because of the fact that he's a jungler, so that dragon range kick does all kinds of good things if you're behind someone. Fairly reliable initiation if you're able to get the flank and the kick back into someone.
That's true.
But unless you do pick up some damage items, does fall off incredibly steeply late game.
Yeah, so his early sort of skirmishing ability there in the top lane, able to sort of dominate that lane, very safe as far as those ganks are concerned. But you're right, sort of unless you build full damage and go for the insta-deletion.
Oh, you don't need full damage.
Oh, okay. You're talking about your, like,
you can go
Hydra into
Hydra Last Whisper is fine.
Yep.
If you can go Hydra to tank items Last Whisper and you still do relevant damage.
I am aware of this. I have seen you play Lee Sin Spawn. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are under the rift. Game 1 for our second semi-final. The Bangkok Titans against Beşiktaş. And we'll see whether Turkey is going to be able to reign supreme in this one. They just managed to get a spot in this semi-final, and they very much want a victory. The home team really wanting to do it for their fans, but the Bangkok Titans have looked brilliant throughout this entire season. And to go up against Brazil now, I mean, that team also looking very, very strong. And the grand final is going to be fantastic, regardless of which one of these teams gets through.
Yeah, certainly. And all of a sudden, there are 3 poacher's knives or hunter's machetes on the rift, Atlas.
Oh,
top lane has finally
goodness.
picked one up. The extra 15 gold from the first camp. If you take a second, it's an extra 30. That's your pot on the way back.
Oh my goodness. The teleport smite top lane Lee Sin. How did we not think about it before?
Because it doesn't seem very good.
You take that back, Spawn.
No, I'm not, because Flash is like Lee Sin's most important thing in his kit. You have to be able to reposition yourself in a team fight instantaneously to make yourself useful for a kick.
No, you can safeguard kick animation cancel, right? No, you can't do that.
So, yeah, Warlock's just removed probably the best part of Lee Sin's kit.
That is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, well, look, we'll see how he goes on this Lee Sin in the top lane with the teleport smite. G4. Oh, energy with a really
He's going to
nice...
jungle extremely effectively.
It's true. So is 007X, though.
Lee Sin can do a full clear, one of the few junglers, so every single camp with 1 potion.
Wow, really? Look at that. Fun facts with Spawn. Ward in this brush is going to spot out the members of the Bangkok Titans heading towards this red buff.
Also one of the few champions that you don't have to take crazy rune pages to do it on.
Okay.
So other people you can do it, like Xin Zhao you can do it as well if you like max W first and take like all attack speed. But he can just run
Standard.
AD, MR.
Yep, teleport from Warlock though into the bottom side.
Oh, that is so dangerous coming through from Warlock. He's going to pick up some CS, but there are 4 people down here, and he is a very real possibility to get dove. They're even proxying the wave. Thaldron, I think that's not a great idea because you just took half your health.
Yeah, and now the minion wave.
But this is what we mentioned about Warlock. He teleports and goes into weird positions on the map and gets away with it somehow. How is he not being dove right now? There are 4 members on that side of the map, and Thaldron's going back.
Yeah, and Theocles
and going to teleport into the same thing. And this is what I said. Bangkok Titans will guarantee dive him.
Yeah, 007X wasting no time. Moss doesn't land the play, but now he's tanking up the turret. One more auto attack, and oh my goodness, decides to take a second turret shot, and he's going to die to Thaldron. Meanwhile, dive successful in the bottom side of the map. Thaldron able to escape this one as 007X does get the stun. Red buff is now ticking on this Maokai, but he's got the Arcane Smash. Wants to get over the edge, but 007X picks up the kill.
So in the end, both top laners get dove and both die. Justice is served, Atlas.
Yep.
Top laners at home never teleport into 2v1 lanes. It's just not smart.
Whoa.
They take down the turret nice and early. Beşiktaş off to the dream start because it was their AD carry that picked up the kill as well. Whereas on the other side of the map, no assist came across and it was onto the jungler.
Yeah, well, 007X is going to be able to use that gold relatively effectively. Still have to think, but you're exactly right. Having that onto the star of Nardius here is going to be fantastic. Moss finds himself a cheeky Nunu, but...
Because of how long it took him, the fact that they couldn't keep 3 people in the lane, also the turret only at half health, all of a sudden, because Thaldron, he also picked up one of the kills. He's picked up Ruby Crystal as well as Sapphire. So he's got the tools needed to survive. Lee Sin still only on the Hunter's Knife. And Lloyd, you're in trouble.
Oh, beautiful spell shield, though, getting him out of that knock-up. He walks back towards his turret. Wow, was that a crit? What the hell? Flashes, picks up the kill underneath the turret. Death sentence not going to find Nardius as he relentlessly pursues away from the turret. Moss comes down, does have a decent flay there. 007X looking for something. Dumbledore, is he going to be able to disengage this one? Does have a shield there. 007X trying to close the gap. Oh my goodness, Moss's Thresh play is beautiful. And that's going to be 007X picking up another one.
Yeah, so maybe 007X with 2 kills can start the snowball happening. But once again, the kill goes across onto Nardius. He's 2-1-0. Falling off a little bit in CS, but that's just because he's prioritizing champions right now. And 007X, he's picked up all the farm. This is a snowballed Udyr.
Yeah.
Oh, they've held it off the turret.
Oh, they're trying to. 007X with the bear stance, able to get some work done, but Theocles, a lot of damage back here. Are they going to break this freeze? They're not able to.
No, they've held it up there. Nardi is going to get it all. That is huge coming through.
Oh my goodness, Warlock taking Thaldron for a bit of a ride there. As the damage from this Maokai, highest base damage for a melee champion in the game, Spawn.
Yeah, he certainly is coming through there. His auto attacks do work, Atlas, in the early game.
Why does he not have a Doran's Blade?
Oh, please stop.
No, every single time, my friend, I'm sorry. Nardius not able to get the cannon creep, so definitely a bit of a win there for the Bangkok Titans. They're still looking for this top turret. And Nardius by himself. Now Dumbledore is going to turn up in this lane. But you have to think that Beşiktaş could have possibly got a bit more pressure there if they had Dumbledore with him from the beginning.
Yeah, well, Dumbledore had to go back. Remember, he held up the entirety of the minion wave and took a lot of damage. So whilst that was there, they were just using that to send him back. He's also spent all of his gold, comes back with the consumables. So they're going to now go into standard lanes at about 7 minutes. And Nardius has a fairly significant advantage. He's got some more mobility, can duck in and out of the boomerang much more effectively. And Warlock, he's been completely shut down in the early game. He's only got his Skirmisher Saber, now goes back and grabs a Ruby Crystal. He's being doubled in CS. Soldrin doing a much better job here on Maokai. And you feel that Maokai going to be performing the pure tank role much better than the Lee Sin.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And looks like we are going to have a Cinderhulk Lee Sin to start off things as far as this top lane is concerned, and that is not really great. We've seen even the jungle Lee Sin
doesn't do great.
No.
Let alone top lane Cinderhulk Lee Sin. Warrior is just such an important item on Lee Sin, you feel? It gives him lots of early skirmishing as well.
Oh, nice fake out. Gets the playback as well as Eye of the Storm is keeping Dumbledore alive. Moss is potentially going to tank up another turret shot as 007X coming through here. Decent bait from the Bangkok Titans, but
he dive again?
They get underneath the turret. Piercing Light doesn't find Lloyd there. But Beşiktaş, they do survive. But Moss's Thresh is looking so good.
Yeah, that was a fantastic death sentence coming through there. They ping out 007X. They're doing the hokey pokey around this red buff.
Yep, teleport behind the top lane here. Bangkok Titans, they do manage to pick that one up. Moss with the Dark Passage gets him right on top of Theocles. Death Sentence is going to help.
Lee Sin going in as well.
Not quite getting there. Lee Sin coming from the backside. We'll see whether he can get anything done as 007X is on a killing spree. Picks up Nardius yet again as Warlock trying to take down Thaldrin. He gets smote here as well as Dumbledore's very low on health. Oriana's there at the same time. G4 comes through, picks up energy though, and there is action everywhere across this map.
Yeah, so caught in rotation there, and this is where we said that Oriana can struggle. As soon as you rotate a little bit off time, you get caught in the jungle. LeBlanc just tears you apart, and all of a sudden, turret goes down, couple of kills across, and Bangkok Titans, they've tied the game up after what was a really rough early game because they misplayed that dive on Thaldrin.
Yeah, Nardius now though, he picked up yet another kill and has a BF sword on top of the pickaxe, as opposed to the Berserker's Greaves that Lloyd picked up. The amount of extra damage for this Lucian is insane.
Yeah, definitely going to be able to get a lot of work done. 007X, however, he's pretty much a top laner at this point.
Yeah.
Whereas Warlock, he's more of a jungler. As you can see, 28 CS on Warlock. There is a heck of a lot more CS currently on 007X as he tacks the whole of the top wave that time around, if you recall correctly. Oh, yeah. And what this is going to mean is that Warlock is pretty much not going to be relevant throughout the entirety of the mid game. He is legitimately an ult at this point, and not even a great ult at that because he doesn't have the flash available.
No, and will never have the flash available. That's not it being off cooldown. That's him not having the summoner spell. It's a little bit of a shame. Bangkok Titans, though, they have evened up this gold. About 300 is the difference. Not too much at all. Warlock continuing to try and pick up farm when he can. Piercing Light. Nardius takes a turret shot, though, so Warlock wins that trade.
Assistance from the turret, not counting.
Yep, 20 CS still the lead, though, as Beşiktaş Thaldrin looking very, very good. Almost has the Righteous Glory and Ninja Tabi completed. Or unless he's going to be going towards that Glacial Shroud a little bit earlier on. That's what he's going to use that cloth armor for. But the game calming down just a little bit. Lloyd able to get a very hard shove on here on the bottom side. Now has the extra attack speed with the ricochet given to him from the ultimate. Able to take down this turret relatively quickly. Dumbledore tries to help out as Lloyd picks up some extra mana. And G4 continuing to put pressure on this mid lane. Energy able to dodge out of the way of a few of these
Energy up in
changes.
CS, but just seems to be being dictated to as a good game coming through from Nunu. This is a very long lane. They do back away as he sweeps out a ward, however, so Theocles not successful in the first gank.
Yeah, 007X finally going to head back to base again. We'll see what he's going to pick up here. Does have Merc Treads out.
You're in trouble.
Is he?
Well, he used his ultimate and used his second dissonance. I thought they might go on him, but instead they just decide not to.
Yeah, just wander past. Thaldrin now here as well.
And again, he uses another dissonance ward.
Thaldrin's now waiting around. They have a pink ward in this brush. They know that he's not spotted out. G4, though, Spidey senses tingling. Knows that that top lane not going to be around there. May have spotted the present to head over the wall.
That was a gift.
Oh my goodness, another one. So much poke coming through from G4.
Yeah, he's just continually pushing in on that Orianna, trying to get everyone to, I guess, pay attention to him as Warlock. Finished off the Cinderhulk finally. Also has the Gromp buff, so this is probably the most damage we'll see Lee Sin do.
Yep, picks up the Cannon Wave, so that is definitely good news.
So I actually, this is the thing, and I'm going to clarify that Lee Sin is most played champion.
Yep.
And I like him a lot, so this is going to sound strange. But I do not understand what Lee Sin does in this composition. You could put Galio in the top lane, and I actually think he fulfills more of a role as, wow, 007X gets chunked out, than what Lee Sin currently does in this composition. He doesn't push waves any better. Not great. Wow, Moss.
Yeah, there's in fact the box coming through here. Moss trying to get out, but he's going to die. It's actually going to be Theocles that picks up that kill. The Dragon helping the Bangkok Titans out a little bit as Lloyd trying to get some damage over the top. 007X gets healed up, but it's not enough. The shutdown goes over to Nadius, and this Lucian is getting delivered so much gold.
Yeah, and that was just an over-aggressive play. Why do you need to go for the Dragon there? They're able to pick up 2 kills, one of which is a shutdown. They'll grab the Dragon for themselves now, and Bangkok Titans falling behind in the early game.
Theocles is relatively low, and if I know G4, he might actually go for this.
Yeah, he certainly might, but there is an Orianna shield, a Janna shield.
I never said it was a good idea. He's going to head over the wall there. Understands that he's probably not going to find it, and Theocles is going to smite that one away.
Yeah, so if we go back to the top lane, Lee Sin currently can't even beat Tholdrin in a 1v1. Tholdrin probably does more damage than him. So I actually don't understand what the all-tank Lee Sin top lane does.
Soaks damage.
But why would you hit him? There you go.
Yeah, that didn't do anything.
Which just makes it confusing. I like the pick.
Maybe he's ignored and therefore can take down turrets because Beşiktaş think, okay, this champion doesn't do anything. Why would we focus him?
Maybe. That's the best theory I've heard yet.
Well, that's depressing.
Because don't get me wrong, as I said, love the pick. Play Lee Sin everywhere, guys. Lee Sin Sai on bottom lane. Wow.
Oh, speaking of which, Energy forced to use the flash. Moss not going to find the death sentence as the Bangkok Titans try and make something happen in the mid lane.
So Moss and 007X flashed for that. And weren't able to pick up a kill. So a very...
Oh, they got 2 summoner spells for 2 summoner spells, though. Energy used cleanse and flash.
Yep.
So, fair trade.
Cleanse on a much lower cooldown.
Okay, not quite as fair trade. No, definitely not working out in the favor of the Bangkok Titans. A little bit overly aggressive for not very many dividends gained, and Energy even makes his way back to this lane. Finds some... Oh my goodness, 007X does not really care about where he is on the map.
Yeah, he's already got his Merc Treads. He's moving into probably a Locket as well for some cooldown reduction. that skid is...
pretty amusing. Death Sentence going to land on a Nadius here as well. Dark Passage available for 007X, who does find Nadius now as well. Energy coming over the top. Beşiktaş are collapsing on top. Nadius is going to trade his life. It's a nice shockwave that came across over to 007X. But G4 with so much burst heads back over the top again as the Bangkok Titans are turning this fight on its head. The tree is burning down, is not going to be able to get back into this fight as Energy. The back is stopped. G4 has found the Orianna. And 3 members of Bangkok Titans trying to get something done. Dissonance onto Warlock, but he's full tank Lee Sin. Super utility mode. Able to make sure that he's not going to fall down, and they secure the kill onto Orianna.
Yeah, so prioritizing the Lee Sin, as you said, full tank, not much damage done there. They're able to pick up a 4 for 2 trade coming through for the Bangkok Titans, so they grab 1,000 gold advantage, but realistically, that was just all about G4. Jumping in there with the Luden's Echo, got the huge distortion off. And even though Theocles nearly got a full channeled ultimate, it just wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, and G4, he double distorted over the wall, went back to his original, left his other distortion in the Absolute Zero, waited for it to go off, went back to that one, and then came in and finished off the fight. It was beautifully played.
Yeah, so really well played there from the LeBlanc player. He's started to really get rolling. 2-0 on 4 now. As we mentioned, he has that Luden's Echo, standalone item, best in game for AP mid laners. Now he's going towards probably a Morella Nomicon, though it could also be, are there themes on Holy Grail?
Could. Yeah, of course, there is only one physical damage dealer, so picking up some magic is probably a good idea. Luden's Echo Distortion, pretty silly. Able to clear out that mid wave pretty easily as Warlock doesn't find the Sonic Wave. Theocles hanging around here, so he doesn't want to 2v1.
And he's going for Warmogs after this.
What?
So he's going for the Cinderhulk Warmogs build that we saw on Shyvana, who was available, I just want to point out, on Lee Sin.
Lloyd managed to spell shield a Dissonance after the command attack. That is really good timing. Just want to point that one out too. But yeah, you're exactly right. Why not pick Shyvana? Maybe if he had have got a little bit more happening in the early stages of the game. Of course, it was a pretty horrible situation for him early on.
Hey, he created that.
Yep, true. It still happened. Oh, wow. So many things flying towards energy. Is going to deal with it quite well. As the command attack going to clear out this mid wave, and G4 does have the distortion available. So a lot of wave clear with this Luden's Echo as well. So Bangkok Titans not really at too much risk of losing this mid lane outer turret. And they've picked up a couple for themselves as well. The mid lane outer probably the next on the priority list here for our Southeast Asian team.
Yeah, they certainly are posturing around that, but there is a lot of wave clear that comes out of Orianna at this point in the game. Not to mention the culling is also available. Janna, it's impossible to dive this turret as well, so not much really happening. Instead, they're trying to rotate through the jungle, secure some objectives in there. Dragon is only a minute away, so you would think that they should probably get some wards over that side of the map, but a lot of prioritization right now on the top side of the jungle.
Yeah, they've got some sort of upper river vision down. 007X going to be able to steal away that Raptor. And Bangkok Titans, they're zoning all of Beşiktaş away from this outer turret in the mid lane. They're going to lock down the whole outer ring.
Yeah, so they sent Nardius into the bottom lane to try and clear that one out. And what that meant is that they couldn't defend anymore. So all of a sudden, a lot of pressure as Warlock's being caught.
Yeah, On the Hunt's actually been popped here just to try and give the Lee Sin a little bit more movement speed. He is able to get out definitely. Really, really far, in fact. But that's a huge ultimate on cooldown now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Lee Sin ultimate also on cooldown as G4 might have been caught out of position.
Yeah, that's another change. Distorts over the wall here as well as the Luden's Echo getting some damage across the team. Blue buff a little bit frustrating here for G4 as Tholger in the Christmas tree looking to pick something up. G4 going very aggressive, actually. They feel like they've caught him out of position. Bear Stance going to stun him up, but probably wants to turn this one around as the boomerang comes through. Flash actually from G4, maybe a little bit late here as he distorts away from this fight. My goodness, Nardius does some damage as he's a bit tricked by that Mimic. And Beşiktaş are not going to be able to find any kills.
But they force them away. Dragon is available. They can grab number 2 if they so want to, but a little bit low here. They decide against it. People just going to back away.
Yeah, Tholger completely out of mana. Nardius has a bit of mana left. I feel like Beşiktaş probably could have gone for this one.
Yeah, definitely agree. That is the case, but instead it will be Bangkok Titans starting it up. Lee Sin performing the jungler role admirably. Will be able to solo that one away, although now definitely not Udyr. Not joining it.
And what do you think? Warlock, now that he has a massive amount of health, can he build a Hydra? Or is it just too late?
You can buy a Hydra, yeah.
Yeah, will it be relevant? Is it a good idea?
Sorry.
No, you mistook my can for should.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, you mistook my, yeah.
Yep.
Should have been a should.
Yeah, I still think it lends to wave clear really helps him out on his kit. He does lack a little bit of resistance coming through here. Probably needs a Thornmail first to deal with all of the damage that's going to be coming through from Nardius. I think there are some better options available to him. Hex Drinker, extremely cost-efficient item coming through for Lee Sin. Allows him to get some offensive stats, also lends itself to defensive as well. So I think that there are some, as I said, I think he can weave some AD into his kit. Whether he will or not is yet to be seen.
Yeah, well, has certainly not been focusing anything offensive thus far. Teleport into the backside, though, as Warlock trying to create a situation for himself. Howling Gale going to cause G4 to get out of here as Tholger engages on him. The LeBlanc in trouble as the culling comes through. Nice shockwave, but only lands onto Warlock as Lloyd picks up the kill. So much damage from G4 as he's shooting around this fight. 007X gonna take down Nadius. Double kill for the Udyr, and the Bangkok Titans doing ridiculous things with this team comp. The chilling smite onto Thaldren. Moss is untouched in this fight as well. This Thresh play has been beautiful throughout. Put the box down fantastically as well. As yeah, I talk about supports way too often. They are going to be able to take down this inner turret. And man, Bangkok Titans, they just turn any situation that they probably have no right winning into a win.
Yeah, and Energy only shockwaved Warlock there.
See?
So the decoy Lee Sin coming up absolutely massive in that team fight. Lloyd, on the meanwhile, was on the right-hand side of the fight, hitting at will. No one was anywhere near him. They committed over hard onto G4, tried to get as much done as possible, but all that meant was that the Sivir was just on the right-hand side of the fight, no one near her, auto-attacking everyone. I think even flashed forward in a 5v5 team fight.
Yeah. Now that is something that Lloyd has most definitely done, as he takes a Dark Passage and causes the hugest boomerang that I have ever seen in my life. That was fantastic. Dumbledoge and Theocles are going to head out of this one, not realizing that they're not going to be able to dive that turret and pick up the kill onto Sivir as well. G4 now may find Theocles. Look at the damage potential. Eye of the Storm is going to come down as G4 able to distort out. And now that he's got the Athene's Unholy Grail as well as this Luden's Echo, he's got so much cooldown reduction and hasn't built boots too. Do you want to be frustrated about that for a moment?
No, I think the 2 items is fine. If he gets it now, I'll be happy.
Okay, good. G4, though, is going to mimic his way back in with another distortion. Eats a culling yet again.
Diving.
Yeah, the turret going to fall down. Lloyd actually pops the ultimate. Bangkok Titans looking to go back in here, but they don't have their jungler. He's in the bottom lane.
Yeah, exactly right. So the thing that we missed about this composition is they don't have to treat Warlock as a top laner.
That's a good point.
They can treat 007X as a top laner and just have a jungle smite, a teleport smite jungler in Warlock, who they gave solo lane experience to at the start of the game.
Yeah, and he predominantly plays top lane.
But he's not this game, because even like the split pushing 007X is doing, you see the CS, 100 to 132. Most of that's been taken from the jungle as well.
Yep.
Right now, Udyr much stronger than Lee Sin.
Yeah, also has a Locket of the Iron Solari, so he's doing a little bit more for his team at the same time.
And has some form of usefulness.
Hey, come on. The kick, pretty useful, all right? Tempest, although not as useful as it used to be, still is a slow.
I didn't even know that was a ability anymore, ever since they took the attack speed off it.
Slow. So, in fact, Tempest just does a little bit of
damage. Just AoE damage.
And not much of that, considering his build. Luden's Echo to come through here for G4 helps him clear out this wave quite nicely, as Warlock is going to try his very best to 1v1 these creeps one at a time in the top lane.
So I think my analogy is that Lee Sin is kind of like frozen mallet now. I understand why it exists, I just don't know what it does.
Ah, right. Thaldren going to get caught up by the Mimic Chain, so nice Death Sentence to come down, but that's the tank. Maybe not the target they want to be focusing here as the... Oh my goodness, that Monsoon was actually fantastic. Stopped a lot of the damage, but Lloyd picks up the kill here. Nadius takes so much damage from this Sivir. Lloyd is doing work here in these fights and able to really stop Beşiktaş from getting anything done.
And once again, talking about your boy Moss, flying over the wall with his flash is wow.
What? Oh, G4 looked for the chain, didn't find it there under Dumbledoge. As the Bangkok Titans are going to have to get out of underneath this turret, but no, another creep wave comes through. Warlock comes down. That's a nice shockwave onto a couple of members, but Warlock tanking up this team. A boomerang comes across, doesn't find Nadius though, as Lloyd and friends are going to take down the inner turret in the top lane.
Yeah, so in the end, it was all about Moss flashing over the wall, getting the flay onto 2 members, starting that up, catching out Thaldren, and then they rotate into a nice top lane turret as Udyr going back.
Swag stance Udyr. Heading back to base. Looking good. 3,000 gold now the lead for the Bangkok Titans, though, at 26 minutes into this game. More than even on the Dragons, but 5 turrets to 2. That's where a whole lot of this global gold has been built up by the Bangkok Titans. And this is game 1 here for these teams. This is going to set the scene for a lot of what's to come here. Of course, taking the first victory, brilliant for momentum, and will definitely help these teams out. And first game means a little bit more than the rest, you have to think.
Yeah, it certainly does. It sets, I guess, especially the pick fan phase as G4.
Tries to get some work done here. 007X now finding his way into the middle of the fight. That's actually the decoy of G4 hanging around there in that fight as Theocles almost falls down. 007X secures the kill as Nadia slows the hill a little bit late, you have to think, on the Hunt's being popped. Lloyd getting so much AoE damage down. Double Doge has to get out here. 007X does fall down, but my God! Deleted was Nadius there, and Warlock now finds his way into the fight, realizes just how useless he is, because the Bangkok Titans did all that they needed to without the Lee Sin.
This is honestly a 4v5 Atlas, and Bangkok Titans are winning it convincingly. 0-2-4 on Lee Sin in a 15-kill game for his team.
Not for his team. For nothing. As, my God, G4, the chains from downtown, nets in the kill onto Energy. Moss, the afterthought inhibitor take, going to come down there. Doesn't even get it in time as the Bangkok Titans, they're going to take down a Dragon as well.
Yeah, so able to move in there. Warlock will be able to tank that one up. He is going towards what looks like to be a Randuin Omen pickup for his Lee Sin next.
Oh, yes.
But this is just a terrifying team fight. Orianna, unfortunately, Energy just not having a terrific game, can't get anything done. And Nadius isn't tanky enough at this place. At a point, it sounds silly enough, but he has got kind of the defender Nadius comp coming through here.
Yeah.
Isn't tanky enough to live through what G4 and Lloyd are throwing at him every fight. They're ignoring everyone and just going straight for that Lucian.
Yeah, and G4 is playing with absolutely no fear at all. Able to do anything he wants. Oh, the Desperation Baron to come through here by Beşiktaş. Dumbledore takes so much damage. G4 in then out again. Picks himself up a kill. It is going to be the Maokai taking down the Baron yet again as Beşiktaş. They have that. They might be able to get some work done. Lloyd tanking up a bit of the culling, but he is going to be okay in the end as Nadius has tried to get out, but the best Ansudia coming through with all the damage. Can't close the gap, so he's going to be fine. The ball to come through here. Dissonance to stop the Udyr as well, and they steal the Baron and get out with a 1-for-nothing trade going in favor of the Bangkok Titans.
And Lloyd just saved Nadius.
Did he?
Yeah, he kicked him over the wall.
Oh, right. He was trying to. There was the 1-2 kick into 007. That was the play. That was the smooth move. They didn't quite manage to get that one to work out. The Bangkok Titans lose a Baron.
So Beşiktaş with the desperation play coming through. That was absolutely massive. Probably stalling out the game for another couple of minutes. You would have to think, because
at least
it is
a couple.
So hard to push into the Baron to up creeps. And
yeah, G4 able to clear out some wolves. Almost has the death cap completed. Massive amounts of AP to come through from the mid laner of the Bangkok Titans.
Lockett is nearly finished up by Theocles, though. You feel that he needs to prioritize that over the Frozen Heart. Just get in there, finish it up. Blade of the Ruined King is actually going to be the pickup here from Lloyd. That's a little bit peculiar for a Sivir. What's your thoughts on that build?
Well, look, I've got no thoughts on the Sivir Blade of the Ruined King. I'd prefer to build a Bloodthirster every single time. But of course, Theocles has a lot of flat health, I guess. Thaldrun building up a fair bit of that too. But he's got a Frozen Heart you need to cut through. No Thornmail's built yet, so I guess you don't need the extra lifesteal. No, I somewhat get it. Wants to be able to burst the target. G4 looking for a chain, doesn't find it here as Thaldrun does pop the Righteous Glory. Warlock in amongst the fight. The ball in position here. Dumbledore gets caught by the death sentences. The box gets put down. Theocles, that's a full channel on the ultimate. 007X able to get out there as the shockwave onto two pretty priority targets. Lloyd taking that one as Moss tanks it up as well, but Beşiktaş unable to find anything else, and no one's dead.
And Thaldrun is getting tankier, Atlas. You saw how long he stood in the middle of that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Able to absorb a lot of damage, and this might be a push in the mid lane with the Baron up creeps.
Warlock doesn't take very much damage. That is definitely a thing, but these creeps not going to die too quickly either, as Nadius able to get the damage down onto the turret. That turret did not last very long at all, as Lloyd now trying to get the wave clear in here with the Baron. Beşiktaş able to get an inner turret, but it's probably about all they're going to find.
Okay, I think I understand the Blade of the Ruined King over the Bloodthirster now, because the Snowball coming through, as well as the Absolute Zero, stopping a lot of the attack speed. So just wanting to ramp that back up with a second attack speed option, and does need to go for a defensive item as the last part of the build. So instead of just turning into pretty much an Archer Sivir, the Blade of the Ruined King will go towards some more attack speed to help mitigate exactly what Nuno is doing in these fights.
I like it. I like it. At least that sort of makes sense to me when you say it like that.
I don't know if it's good still.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. Look, let's give Lloyd a little bit of credit here. He has shown that he's a fantastic sibber.
Oh, yeah. Once again, Bangkok Titans are playing the absolute heck out of the composition they have put together. Making it work. 007X on Udyr is terrifying. Once again, just throw 2 bans at that guy because he is so amazingly good. His early game presence has been all over the map. Theocoli is now starting to catch up in these team fights with the snowball and the zoning prowess of Nunu, but it's all been about the Udyr in the earlier part of this game. 13 out of 17 kill participation. Has been able to do fantastic things.
Energy in this bottom wave is going to push that one out just a little bit as Beşiktaş continuing to clear this mid lane out. Sapling going to find G4.
Minute until Dragon, so trying to set up for that one. Couple of 1,000 gold the advantage over to Bangkok Titans, but with an inhibitor just respawning, a lot of the map has now started to equalize, and I still think that Beşiktaş has a better scaling comp.
Yeah, well, we've thought a lot of things about this, and the Bangkok Titans seem to do what their comp isn't supposed to, is look at the go button being pressed here. Thaldren getting engaged on yet again. They're going to remove the tank from this fight if they can, but he's getting healed up. There's the ult from Theocles as well as the Bangkok Titans. They're starting to fall low. Nice shockwave as well as Nadius picks up G4. All of the carries are dead, and that was the quickest triple kill I have ever seen in my life. Bangkok Titans now on the run as Warlock and Moss trying to get away. Nadius for the quadra kill. Picks up Moss, and Beşiktaş erupt onto the rift.
Yeah, Nadius goes absolutely berserk, and Thaldren is unkillable. Able to run away with a team fight. Now with the ball on top of Thaldren, they're going to be able to tank up the turret. 20 seconds, I think they can nearly win the game.
Warlock is here. He's going to have to go for the one-man power play.
No, they can't. They have to back away. Not long enough coming through there. Maybe chasing the kill onto the Janna wasn't the, I guess, correct move, but they equalize the breach bases, and now Beşiktaş take their first lead since about, what, 3.5 minutes is when the turret dive happened?
Yeah, and they're going to even out the Dragons as well. This is a very close match all of a sudden.
Yeah, so able to get in there, and unfortunately, there's just not enough damage on the Bangkok Titans lineup. LeBlanc's fantastic for one combo if she's on a priority target, but if you use that on Thaldren, unfortunately, Lloyd not going to be able to cut through this tanky Maokai, and there's just no other damage after that fact.
Yeah, and they're engaging onto Maokai as well, which is something that we really need to point out.
Yeah, they kicked Maokai back into their team.
Yeah, which is where he wants to be.
Just mitigating all of the damage with his ultimate because of all the abilities being able to spam out. You saw with 2 auto attacks, was back at full health nearly. They might engage again.
Yeah, 007X looking to try and help secure this red buff. It is going to be taken away by Theocles relatively easily, though. Bangkok Titans with some vision now around this Baron pit. They probably want to be able to pick up their first of the game. As G4 clearing out this mid-wave. Super creeps to deal with now as Baron right in time. Beşiktaş really with positional play around this area of the map.
They need to be careful here because realistically, Bangkok Titans can just stream up mid lane and take out the inhibitor. There's no turret there, so pushing against the super creeps is a very easy job. They've sent Warlock to start split pushing in the bottom lane. He does have his teleport available, but Baron has respawned. And you think that now, much like the rest of this game, all eyes will train towards the neutral objective in the river, and we'll get another very clean team fight coming through.
Yeah, well, we'll see what does happen as Nadius does get tagged by the chain, but of course, a lot of shields available for this Lucian. And Beşiktaş, after clearing out this mid-wave, just going to head towards that Baron. They don't even need to start it, although they're going to.
Yeah, so they start it up. They'll absolutely slaughter this. The Bloodthirster was finished by Nadius.
Yep,
teleport coming in.
Yeah, they're looking for some form of fight as Thaldren. He's popped the Righteous Glorious. My goodness, that was a ride. Moss is going to provide the exit here for 007X,
but look at the shield onto Nadius, the Bloodthirster as well as the Orianna Janna.
Whoa, Energy getting taken down low here by a combo from G4, but he takes a lot of his health. Dissonance to speed up the Nunu. G4 coming back in yet again. Takes a Maokai with him as the passive is popped as well. There's the shockwave onto Moss and, of course, Warlock there as Zoldran getting taken down low, but he's so tanky. 007X falls down. Another bunch of kills for Nadius, who's just starting to go off. Warlock kicks him back away so he doesn't kill Lloyd. But Moss on the run, as is Lloyd and Warlock, and the Bangkok Titans, they're not going to be able to do too much to stop this because Beşiktaş, they've lost no one, and they'll just head straight back to the Baron.
Yeah, exactly right. Dumbledore might even take down Moss, the 1v1 support duel.
Oh, they're looking for it. Moss wants to pick up some more. We zoom in for the sick action as Dumbledore picks up the kill.
Yeah, back at Baron, they've collapsed onto Warlock. He's pretty hard to kill, but he will go down.
Just trying to delay.
As will Energy nearly.
Yeah, Energy tanking up the Baron here for just a little bit too long, but that Command Protect going to save his life for now. And no one in range, and that is going to be Baron number 2 for Beşiktaş.
Yeah, Beşiktaş in firm control of this game now. You see that they've just got to the point where they've completely outscaled. That is a 6-item Nadius.
Yeah. And he'll have gold left over here as well. Like, this Lucian is now a massive problem for the Bangkok Titans. And it's because they just use so much trying to kill Zoldran, and they can't.
Yeah, they just cannot get through the Maokai. They have no tool to be able to deal with him. The Blade of the Ruined King still not finished up. And Zoldran, when paired with Theocles, is just so much to deal with as a front line. And they haven't been able to breach through. Now in this bottom wave, double cannon creeps built up here. An absolute huge CS wave. Lloyd down here, but he's got to be careful.
Yeah, the mega creeps of Destiny coming through into this second last remaining inner turret. 3,000 gold the lead for Beşiktaş, but that doesn't mean too much here at the 38-minute mark because there are full item builds being completed, and Beşiktaş just with so much control. They've shown that they can win the last few team fights. You have to feel like that's going to transition.
Onto Nadius, he's able to get his Bloodthirster shields on. They go.
Yeah. The hula hoop onto Energy though. Nadius still going to take down the Sivir. That's a whole lot of damage now gone. They take down the turret as well, and Energy just proven that they don't really need that Shockwave to be in the right position to be able to win the rest of this game as Warlock. He's got 4,000 health, but why the heck would you hit him? Yeah, he's running around throughout the middle of this one. Is able to escape, but of course was just soaking up damage for a little while. The Nexus now is exposed as Warlock trying to make himself a target. Zoldran tanking up this one for quite some time. The Maokai is going to fall. The Theocles goes down low, but the Nexus was focused by Nadius. He knows what he's supposed to be doing. And game 1 goes to Beşiktaş.
In convincing fashion in the end, they got the scaling comp to the late game. Even with the missed Orianna ult, handedly took the last team fight, and Nadius went berserk. We said Nadius, Dumbledore, these are the guys we want to see step up, and boy did they rise to the occasion in game 1.
Yeah, they did fantastically well. You have to question Bangkok Titans team comp though. It sort of did exactly what you were expecting. The first couple of team fights did look fantastic. We were wondering how it managed to happen, but in the end, I mean, Lee Sin didn't do too much, and their comp sort of fell apart.
Yeah, exactly right. The problem with the comp isn't the fact that they have 2 really tanky members, Udyr and Lee Sin, but they just don't have consistent threats. That's why Orianna, Lucian were always going to outscale, because realistically, Zoldran, he was just a huge tank in the front line as well. A little bit more CC than Lee Sin, and his damage mitigation ultimate, which makes him a better option for it.
Yep.
However, it was really about the Orianna as well as the Lucian being able to get all the shields onto them, use the Nunus, get people in there, and I guess do the consistent damage. If you have these burst damage champions and you don't get onto a priority target to delete them, then you're never going to win a late game team fight.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. Not a whole lot really happened there, but we do have a replay of the team fight that turned this game around.
Yeah, so you see in the mid lane, they are once again 3,000 gold in the advantage. Bangkok Titans have been playing fantastic. They've already breached the base, and they engage very heavily onto Zoldran. So if we get this one going, see Moss fly in there, gets a good playback, hooks him up. But that's the bit that's a little bit questioning. The kick into the team, and you see 2 auto attacks get Zoldran nearly back at half health. He gets some Mikhails afterwards as well, and the huge shockwave comes across. From there, all the important ultimates have been used. But look how much better consistent damage comes through from Nadius. He's able to clean up the back end of the team fight. And just in this situation, with the Blood Boil, he was always going to do more damage. So I don't understand where LeBlanc fit into a two-threat composition and what exactly Warlock was supposed to achieve. How were they setting him up for success? Something like a Lulu really would have assisted Siva being able to stick around for longer in these fights, give her the huge shield, give her the added attack damage to come through from the help picks, and just allow her to take over the game the same way that Beşiktaş did for Nadius.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And we've seen that Warlock, a fantastic Lulu player. I'm not sure why it wasn't looked at. It's a little bit ridiculous. But, ladies and gentlemen, Game 2 is going to be coming up very soon. We'll see whether Bangkok Titans go for something crazy yet again or whether they turn things around and whether Beşiktaş, they can go for that